In 2023, I took part in a race organised by Red Bull Sim Racing, and I never thought I would be where I am today. I raced around Japan and I was looking very, very quick, and I was not expecting that. I won the race by 20 seconds and Red Bull saw the potential in me and offered me a spot in the Rock the Rig development programme. I was able to go into the Red Bull factory, go in the esports arena with some high-tech Fanatec gear, as well as get some training from some esports drivers, as well as a really great training programme. As part of the development programme, Red Bull and Fanatec have very kindly sent me this lovely upgraded Fanatec setup, which I'm going to review for you guys. So let's get started. So the setup arrived in quite a lot of boxes, around 7 or 8 boxes to be precise. It was very, very secure. There was no damage at all, despite the fact that it was pouring down with rain when it arrived. The courier was very, very lovely. They communicated with me a few days before delivery, telling me what day it was going to arrive, and then 30 minutes before the delivery arrived, they gave me a call saying how long they were going to be, which was really, really great. So I know when to come downstairs. Luckily my dad was available to help because I wasn't able to get the 7 or 8 boxes up the steps by myself to my room. So, you know, a big thank you to my dad for actually putting this setup together anyway. But honestly, there was no damage to any of the equipment on delivery, which was absolutely fantastic. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the lovely Fanatec cockpit, which took the most time to set up. It's used by all the drivers for F1 Sim Racing, so I know I had a peace of mind that this cockpit was going to be very, very stable. It also came with some lovely bodywork as well, and you can put whatever number you want on there. I haven't put any numbers on it yet because I haven't decided which number I want, and this number 7 I'm not allowed to have in F1 25, blame Jack Doohan. So I'm still deciding on which one to use for the F1 25 game. So the Cockpit Formula came in 3 boxes and it came with some instructions which gave us a peace of mind. It took my dad quite a few times to understand everything that's in the instructions, but what is really, really good that it tells you what bolts, what Allen keys it needs in order to screw it quite nicely, and what parts it needs as well. So we know that we were able to install things really, really correctly. And usually it took us quite a few days to put this together, but if you sim race quite a lot and you're a good builder, it probably won't take you that long at all. Personally, I would have loved it to have text on it, like text on how to do certain things, because for me, again, it just took a while for us to understand how to install the thing. But I know with the current Fanatec GT cockpit, it does have that, so I know they're already having that in mind anyway, so that's absolutely fine. But for this, I would have loved text instructions just to help me a little bit more. But the visuals were very, very good to tell you what way the cockpit needs to be, what way the mount needs to be, and stuff like that. So without these instructions, I think we would have been a bit clueless on how to install it because there was no videos or anything like that. But yeah, I think this was really, really good to follow. But I do advise you, this does take a while to get this set up, and you do need, I think, at least for someone like me and my dad, a few days to get this installed. But these instructions were really, really good. With the monitor mount that it came with, we needed a few screws that the cockpit didn't come with, but luckily my dad had quite a few spare, so we were able to install the screws and the mounts with dad's tools basically. So make sure you are prepared with a few extra screws just in case your monitor doesn't have the right screws available to mount it to the cockpit. My monitor is a 27-inch monitor, so it just about fits the cockpit, but if you have a monitor that's less than 27 inches, I think you're going to find it a bit difficult to install the integrated mount into the cockpit. And it is an LG monitor, and it was a bit fiddly as well, but once we got it in, we were able to put it in a way that suits me. But I think if you get a bigger monitor, you're able to customize it a bit more. You're able to move it in a way so it's in your optimal field of view too. and it's great that it came with the monitor mount itself, so it saved quite a bit of money to get our own mount as well, so really liked it. The seat and the pedal position is very customizable, so if you think you're a bit too low down, you can move it into position that you want. If the pedals are a little bit too further away, you can move those as well, and if the seat's a bit further away, you can move it forward. So I finally found a position that suits me, and I think without that customization, I don't think I would have coped with the setup as it is. I talked about the cockpit, let's talk about what else came with this Fanatec setup. So the wheelbase it came with was the Clubsport DD Plus, which is a direct drive wheel, and I always wanted a direct drive wheel because when I was racing in the Women Esports Finals, it was direct drive, and I was like, oh my goodness, I wanted one, so here it is. It came with an extension so we could mount it properly to the cockpit, and I was able to place the wheel in a decent position, and I could get an optimal field of view with it as well. It wasn't very clear on how to install the included extension to the wheelbase, but I asked a few friends on it. We had to unscrew a few things from the wheelbase, and it plugged absolutely fine. That took the least time to install. We had to change position a few times because the wheelbase, it kind of hurt my knees a little bit, so we had to unscrew it a bit and move the wheel a little bit in order to make sure I didn't do that. But once it was moved, then it was absolutely fine. The torque that it has is absolutely insane. You can definitely feel the turning more with this DD Plus setup, and I feel like I'm able to be a little bit more consistent with it. The wheel rim that I got was the limited edition Red Bull wheel, which is a V2.5 rim, and I absolutely love this limited edition wheel. I love the box that it came with. There was also buttons that you can change, stickers and stuff like that, and you can see how great the quality is as well. There's lots of different buttons. You can change the brake bias. I've got buttons now for ERS, and compared to the wheel I had before, there was only a few buttons that I was able to do that. So now I could change the brake bias without going to the MFD, which is brilliant. Same with the ERS. It took me a while to get used to where the pit limiter was, but you know, it was just really, really nice, the build quality of this wheel rim. It also comes with a QR2 quick release, so you're able to move this quite easily. So if you wanted to get another wheel rim which was compatible with the Fanatec ecosystem, you can do, such as the McLaren, and there was a new Porsche rim quite recently as well. But I know it's quite expensive for me, so I wouldn't do that. But if you are a really big collector of these wheels, then the QR2 quick release system, you're able to do that quite easily and just do, basically race the reel that you want with the game that you want. Next we move on to the pedals, which is the CSL Elite V2 pedals. And what's different with the pedals I had originally, which was just the CSL Elite pedals, is that the brake is a load cell brake, and it's based on pressure more than position. It comes fully mounted already with the pedals, so you don't have to put the pedals on it. The pedals are already mounted on, which is really lovely. It also comes with customizable elastomers and springs, so if you find that the brake pedal is a bit too stiff to start with, you could change it to something that suits you, or if you feel it is a bit light, then you could make it harder and stuff like that. I found it to be stiff originally, but once I got used to it, it was absolutely fine, and I was able to change the brake force in the software, and I'm able to use the brakes to suit my preferences. So the springs that it came with, I did need to change, which was quite nice. The brakes are going to take a little bit of getting used to because I'm so used to relying on position, but I feel like it will produce more consistent lap times for me, and it will help me with trail braking. And if I want to trail brake a bit more, I'm able to customise the brake force in the Fanatec software, and also I could change the springs as well in order for me to apply consistent braking as well. And the springs are very, very easy to change as well. It comes with orange things, so you can just take the springs and the elastomers out, then put the new ones in. And in the instructions, it tells you what type you could put in as well. So, you know, it's really customisable, the brake springs. So all in all, this is a really great setup, but you probably want to know how it's like on the track. So, we are about to go racing. At the time of recording, I'm going to be racing around Abu Dhabi for round 10 of the One Hub Racing Championship. So I thought I may as well do some 5 laps around Abu Dhabi to show you how good the setup is. So we are going to be getting and choosing Abu Dhabi. We are, of course, going to go in the Red Bull because why not? We're a part of Red Bull Sim Racing. And we're going to go with Max Verstappen, of course. We are going to change the weekend structure to 5 laps. Don't know where that's going to put us. We're not going to be putting us wet. But realistically, does it rain in Abu Dhabi? No, it doesn't. So we're going to be starting the event. We are going to pick a setup because I don't know if I can race Abu Dhabi without a setup anyway. So 5 red lights. You've got 2 watches for clutches, which is quite nice.
Drive-through penalty. You've got a drive-through penalty.
I got a drive-through penalty. Not good at all. Let's have a take 2. Right, take 2 of this start. That means I'm going to have to choose my setup again. I really like the shifters as well on this because it's a lot quieter than the Fanatec original wheel that I had. So it's quite good. I love the RPM on the wheel as well because you can see how much you really need to shift up as well. And it's also got the RPM on the wheel itself too. It's also got a tuning menu directly on the wheel too, so you can really change the wheel of rotation. There's quite a lot of different settings in the software as well to change the force feedback strength. Personally, I've got the force feedback strength on the wheel itself on full on 100, and then on the game I then turn it down to the right amount, and I felt like that's kind of helped me a little bit. Please be a bit wary of my pace because I'm trying to talk and race at the same time, which I don't usually do. I only talk if there's an incident going, so I may not be directly up the pace straight away. As you can see, you can already feel the turning as well, and I'm still getting used to the brakes on this wheel too, but the more I get used to it, it's absolutely fantastic. As you can see, I've mapped the ERS button to the one I have normally because otherwise I'll get a bit confused. So this is a really, really tight chicane, and I feel like I could be more precise with this more, which I really, really love. So coming up to this next straight now, and we're coming up to another left-hander. So we're going to short shift to 5th. Oh, no, that was not good. That's why you don't talk at the same time. Honestly, the force feedback is absolutely fantastic with this wheel. I mean, you get so much more immersion as well with this. Oh my god, I'm not meant to be in 4th gear there, but you get so much more immersion. The consistency, I feel like, with my race pace is generally a lot better compared to the other wheels I've had. And I know with Fanatec, they do really great direct drive bundles for a really great price. I know the one that one of my friends has got recently, it costed her, I think, about £700-800 for a direct drive setup, which I have to say is pretty good. But obviously it's a lower spec compared to mine, but the 8 Nm of torque was just right there. I don't think she wanted anything more
than that. And then if she wanted...
3.9 seconds.
Shut up, Mark. And if she wanted to play on Xbox, she can do it that way, but she mainly plays on PC anyway, so I think that's a setup that works for her. So there's plenty of bundles available online if you really want to have a go with this setup. Right, a few more corners to go. Right gear this time, Jess. There we go. Honestly, I feel like I'll get better as I get used to the setup. There's still quite a few things that I need to iron out with this Fanatec setup in general, but I feel like it's good.
So that was just a bit of a glimpse on how the setup is actually like on a race setting. Of course, I forgot to turn the AI up a little bit, but I was just getting used to this in general anyway, and it's for you to see how it works in a game setting anyway. But I think I might do a few more tests with actual proper races, but I've got a race tonight as I'm recording this. You will probably watch this a day after and probably think that, Jess, you're so slow, or Jess, it's too quick with this setup. But you're going to know if the setup has really made a difference with the race tonight. But obviously you won't see my full-on pace just yet as I get used to it. If you like watching this video, don't forget you can leave it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you know when you can see all my videos as well as my POVs of my league races. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for another one. Take care, bye bye.